Hey ya, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain. Today we're going to cover Neil Young's Hey Hey My My. We're going to do this in two parts. The first part is going to be an intermediate tutorial where I just give you all the chords, the structure, the strumming patterns real quick. You plug it in where you see fit. The second part is going to be for the beginners where I go through how to play the chords, strumming patterns, progressions, tricks, stuff like that. Jump ahead to that section. You can either go to this time code right here or go down in the description area, look for beginner's lesson and hit that time code. It'll jump ahead in the video. Let's get right into this. Hey, and welcome to the intermediate tutorial of Hey Hey My My, Neil Young. So it's pretty simple song. So I'm just going to show you the chords and the parts. Then I'm going to show you how they're arranged. And the way I kind of do it is a little different than the multitude of versions I've saw him do. So to start with, it's out of an A minor, right? I do it on the open position. I'm pretty sure that's where he does it too, but you could do it down here as well if you wanted to. Once again, once you know what the chords are, play them how you want and where you want on the guitar. So A minor, up to a G, or down to a G to start with, then down to an F. And I don't do the full F. I just do the bottom 5 strings. And that's my strumming too, by the way. It's kind of a little funky. Ups like that. Not up pulling. You know what I'm saying? So it's, and then the next chords are C and D as well. So let's go ahead and start the song off here. Starts with an A minor, and way I started is I hit the single note. Then I go ahead and hit the whole chord. Okay, that's the two parts that are going to be the toughest and the most predominant, and then the rest of it is just chords, right? So what we got going here is, for picking, I'm doing down, down, up, 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 up. And then it's all ups with chunks in there. The way I'm chunking is I'm relaxing my fingers on the string, muting the strings here, and kind of giving that. So see how that's mostly upstrokes, and you got to get a vibe going with it too. So what I'm doing for those picking parts is A, then I walk it up to a D using whole notes, right? So it's A, B, C, D. And then you flam off of A and B, and then you hit the A. So you not only hit that pull off to the A, so there's two A's after the B. A, B, you hammer onto a B, pull off, and then hit A again. So you're only hitting twice. See that? Hammer on, pull off, hit it again. Hit, hammer on, pull off, hit. And then it's G, A, down to the F. So it's the same thing happens on the next one, but you just drop down a string. So you're doing the D and the E, and then C, D. So here it is. Got that G in there. Here's the next one. G, there's that D and the E, C, D, down to the F again. That's the same thing every time, so you never have to change that. And then it does the progression where it goes to the C, to the G, to the F, to the D. That's the lower one again, the A and the B, right? In between What I do in between vocal chunks, there's 4 vocal chunks, and in between the first and the second, I don't do the part where it does the C, that, and that, which is kind of the chorus in a way. What I do is I just do the 2, and then I go right back into the vocals. I don't do it a third time. So I'm going to take the beginning, the first verse, and then the bridge between the first verse and the second verse, not the bigger bridge that happens where you do the C in between. Okay, so there's 2 vocals, then there's kind of a lead, harmonica lead thing, and then there's 2 vocals again. He'll stick harmonica leads in between the 2 pairs of vocals as well. But the way I arrange it, because I'm not doing a harmonica, is I'll do 2 vocals, and then I'll do the longer piece with the C all the way up to the D, and then I'll do 2 vocals again with the shortened piece in between them. And then at the end, I just play it like 4 times around and around and just end the song. Or I bridge into another song straight away. So here we go. I'll kind of go slow for you here on this part. This would be the chorus, I guess, but I'm just doing the opening right now. Here's the verse. Hey, hey, my to the F. Rock and G to the F. Up to the C, G, F. Hey, hey, my. Here's the short bridge. So that's basically it. You can see that I do the short bridge I called to separate the 2 vocal pieces with the, there's more to the picture than meets the I part. Hey, hey, my. I do that twice around. Sometimes he was doing it once, sometimes he's doing it twice. I watch live performances, so have at it. Make it your own. Thanks for watching. Let's get into the beginner section here. All right, welcome to the beginner section of Neil Young's Hey, Hey, My. I'm going to show you all the different chords and stuff, how to play them, but first let me just show you what they are. We got a song's based out of an A minor, then we got a G. You could do either one, whatever you feel like doing. F, I'm not doing a full bar chord F. You can if you want. I just do the bottom 5 strings like this. We also have a C and a D in the open positions, not here. I do this one, and D. Then we have some walking patterns, but first off, let me show you how we're going to play the chords just in case you don't know. In A minor, here's your A major. A minor, you take instead of the 2nd fret of your 2nd string, you go to the 1st fret of your 2nd string. That's an A minor, so it's open A on the 5th string. It's 2nd fret of your 4th and your 3rd with your ring and your middle and your ring fingers. Then your index fingers on the 1st fret of your 2nd string, and you got your 1st string open. That makes an A minor. Your G chord, 2nd fret or 3rd fret of your 6th string with your ring middle finger, 2nd fret of your 5th string with your index finger. You're going to leave the next 3 strings 4, 3, and 2 open with your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. That's your G. If you want to do a double G, all you do is move that ring finger up to the 3rd fret of your 2nd string and put your pinky on the 3rd fret of your 1st string. Otherwise, it's the same. The F, instead of doing a full bar, forget your 6th string. If you want to bar across the 1st fret, which is your F note, you can do that. What I do is I skip that and I just use this index finger for the 1 and 2 strings on the 1st fret. So you got your 3rd fret of your 5th and your 4th string done with your ring and pinky. Then you got your 2nd fret of your 3rd string, and then you got your 1st fret of your 1st and 2nd string. That makes an F. That's going to be a hard one on you new beginners. And if you want to, that is kind of the cheat on that. You could just do the bottom 3 strings and forget these 2 if you want. So you do your 2nd fret of your 3rd string, 1st fret of your 1st and 2nd strings. You could cheat like that if you're really new and you can't quite do that chord. You probably already know your C chord. If you don't, your C chord is bottom 5 strings. You want to take your ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of your 5th string. You want to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string. Then you leave your 3rd string open. You go again to the 1st fret of your 2nd string with your index finger and your 1st string open. That's your C chord. Last chord would be your D chord, bottom 4 strings only. Your open D, your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. That's your D chord, right? So, there's some walking patterns in this song, and they are... It's a little tough on you guys, but this would be a good one if you're right on the verge of doing stuff like this. This is a really good song to work on for this. So what you're doing is, after you hit your first chord, and I'll show you the picking patterns before we move too far along in this, it's open 5th string, and then the whole chord, and then you're going to do a walk. And the walk is A, open 5th string, then your 2nd fret of your 5th, 3rd fret of your 5th, and open 4th string. That's your A, B, C, and D. If you've been following my beginner's guitar lessons tutorials or lessons, that is the whole notes without the sharps and flats as you move up the scale without moving up the string, but moving from string to string. Right? A, B, C, D. Then here's the tricky part. I just posted lesson number 7 where we're starting to get into hammer-ons and pull-offs. So you're going to do a hammer-on pull-off with a secondary hit on the A. So you're going to hit the open 5th string, A. Then you're going to do a hammer-on to your B, pull it off, making an A ring out again, the open A ring out again, and then you're going to hit the A again. A, hammer on to a B, pull off to an A, A. Then it's G, A. 3rd fret of your 6th string back to the open 5th. So all that first stuff is on the 5th string only. Then you go to the 3rd fret of your 6th for the G, and then back to your open A. And then you're dropping right into that F chord. This is a tough one. If you're brand new, you could just go. Don't do the first A and don't do the hammer on. Just pick B, A, G, A. 2nd fret 5th string, open 5th string. 3rd fret 6th string, open 5th string. And then go to your F chord. The next time we do it, You move down one string, so you're on your 4th string, your D string, and you're hammering your E. Or, if you're brand new, just go E, 2nd fret, 4th string, open 4th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, open 4th string. E, D, C, D. Back to that F. So it's real slow. Here we go. G. Now here's that hammer on. F. The second time it's G, up to that D note, the D, the 4th string, or C, down to the G, down to the F, up to the D. Let's talk about picking. Picking and strumming, you're going to be doing a lot of pull-ups. That's the way I do it, at least. And chunks, which is where you mute the string slightly with your palm, right here, right? You're going to mute it slightly with your palm. And then you're going to relax your fingers, but keep them on the strings. Relax the fingers, they're on the strings. That's a chunk. And that's usually a downstroke. So it's, that's your G. So what you're doing there is you're doing 5th string, full chord, walk it, down to your G, pick your G note on your 3rd fret of your 6th string, and then play this, play it just like you did with the very first opening. It's like, and that one comes quicker. You see that? Pause. Now you're going to do that. That's even. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. And now the way the F is going to go is down, down, up, 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 up. With the chunks in between. Down, down, chunk up, down. So it's down, down, chunk, up, chunk, up, up, chunk, right? Does 2 ups, another chunk, 2 ups, and that's the whole pattern. So it's see how it kind of gets funky when you add the 2 different. Hopefully that makes sense to you, and just keep rewinding that little part right there if you're having a hard time with it. Just kind of try to get your groove going. You can just go. If you want. Or if you're brand new, just go. Main thing is trying to keep your timing going on that too. So once again, let's take it real nice and slow with these climbs. Go to that G. F. minor. Climb that up. G. Here's where it does the chorus, or this is the bridge at the beginning before the vocals come in. C, G, down to the F, up to the D. I do that one very staccato. And then before it comes back in, you do the lower one of these, the A, the B, A, G, A, or the flam. So it's one more time after the D. Here's where the vocals come in. And the vocals, this is going to be the same every time now. It's the A minor, hey, hey, down to a G, my, down to an F. A minor, rock and G, never F. Now to that C, there's more to the pick G, then meets an F and D, A minor. Now what I do here, and this might be different than the way he did it on the album, or the way he did it with Crazy Horse, which was a totally different song almost, because it's so raunchy and so bombastic, and he changes the lyrics slightly. All his live performances are different. I go ahead and do these, and I do the rounds, but I don't do the C, G, F, and D. I only do the two parts. Now this time we're going to go up. Then I come back into a vocal. The king is gone, but he's not forgotten. F. A minor. This is the G. Down to the F. C. To the picture G. Down to the F. Up to the D. A minor, G, F. Now that you've covered two vocals, instead of doing a short one with just these, and I go ahead and throw the C to the G to the F to the D, back to this again. Before I go to the third vocal. So what I'm doing is I'm making a first vocal, second vocal, shorter bridge, then a longer bridge, then a third vocal, fourth vocal with a shorter bridge in between, and then at the end I do a longer bridge again. And then that's kind of the end of the song. So let's go ahead and practice these parts by taking the beginning of the song, the first verse with the shorter bridge in between the first and the second verse. Here we go. I'm going to go nice and slow, best I can here. A minor, walk it up. G, go to the fourth string. Down to the F. C. Down to the G. down to the F, up to the D, A minor, walk it on up, G, B, A, G, A, F. Vocals, A minor, hey, G, my F. A minor, rockin', G, down to the F. Here's the chorus bridge, which is a C, or to the G, F, then meets the D, A minor. Actually, it doesn't do that there. A minor, down to the G, my F. Now we're going to do that short bridge. G, F, A minor, walk it up to the G, 4th fret, or 4th string, F. Back to the vocals. King is G, but he's not the F. A minor, this is the G, down to the F. Here comes the bridge chorus out of the C, down to the G, down F to the D, A minor, down to the G, down to the F. Then a short bridge, one more vocal, and then a long bridge with the patterns at the end, and then you can just end it however you see fit. Hey, so that's it. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. Check out another video, go to this link right here. Check out our channel, see all our playlists and videos. Go ahead and click this link over here. Again, we appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.